The opinions expressed in the video you are about to see are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain. Captain Reed here for BoatTEST.com. Today we're on the 50 Cantius by Cruisers Yachts. Let's take her out for a full test and inspection and see what she has to offer. The Cruisers 50 Cantius is a luxury motor yacht with a 15-foot beam, a 400-gallon fuel capacity, test weight of 36,080 pounds, and a dead rise at the transom of 16 degrees. In most respects, she's the smaller version of the 60 Cantius. She can sleep as many as 6 guests in 3 cabins, has 3 entertaining venues, and can virtually go anywhere the 60 can. Our test boat was powered by the standard twin 435 horsepower Volvo Penta 600 IPS system. We tested the 50 Cantius on a clear, humid 75-degree day with a steady breeze between 10 and 15 knots. The seas were relatively calm around a foot. Her top speed was at 33.5 miles per hour at 3,620 RPM. The 50 Cantius's most economical cruising speed came in at 3,250 RPM and 27.9 miles per hour, where she burned 36 gallons per hour, getting her 0.8 miles per gallon for a range of 279 statute miles with a 10% fuel reserve. As can be seen, her fuel economy is about the same from 3,250 RPM to wide open throttle, so she can be operated as fast as conditions allow without much fuel penalty. At the slow down and smell the roses speed of 9.2 miles per hour at 1,500 RPM, she burned just 5.5 gallons per hour for a range of 602 statute miles. We found the IPS 600 pod drives to give good positive control of maneuvers, and while we didn't encounter any following seas or challenging inlets, we know the pods have a positive control factor in these conditions. We should note the 50 Cantius's wide turning radius at cruising speeds, which has been typical of IPS drive systems since it was first introduced 10 years ago. The solution is to slow down in order to make the tighter turns. Docking on test day was a good test of the Joystick system because of the 15-knot cross breeze. The good thing about the Joystick is the boat is under precise control at all times, and the boat can be moved slowly with gentle nudges to the joystick. The key is to never go faster than you want to hit the dock. One of the advantages of the Joystick is that it's easy to go on the diagonal. For example, moving to the side and aft at the same time as we did in this docking. The Helm's design is like a fine piece of modern furniture, with the compass and accessory toggles on the flat counter as can be found on commercial vessels, and 2 17-inch screens mounted on an angle so they can be read standing or sitting. There is glass over the Garmin screens, which can cause some glare and reflection, and I wonder if non-reflective glass can be used by Garmin. Along the starboard armrest are the digital throttle controls, Bennett trim tabs, joystick, Garmin chart plotter screen, and autopilot controls. The Helm also features roadster-style stainless steel steering wheel wrapped in black leather. The steering wheel can tilt to adjust with its ball crux design and can be positioned in literally any direction. She has a single, double-wide captain's chair with adjustable armrest and flip-up bolsters that pair with an elevated footrest below the dash. It's important to note that the captain can stand at the helm as well as sit and have perfect visibility forward, something not possible on some European designs. Access to the engine room on the 50 Cantius comes via a hatch on the aft deck. A stainless steel ladder guides the way below between the twin engines. Headroom is a high crouch, which is not bad for a boat this size and not uncomfortable. Overall, this is one of the best laid out engine rooms we've seen in class, something we see in most cruisers' yachts. All hoses and wiring is properly secured, and there are no rat's nests of wires and hoses that we often see in larger boats. At the foot of the ladder, the 4 battery switches are easy at hand and clearly labeled for parallel operation. Electrical control breakers for all the engine accessories are to port. On the center line of the forward bulkhead are the 3 Raycor fuel filters. Fuel intake lines run directly from the tank through the LGX magnetic polishers to the Raycors, then to the 2 engines and generator. There is plenty of room to pass between the engines, and aft is a platform to mount the optional Seakeeper gyro stabilizer. There's also room in front of the engines to get to the through hulls and sea strainers for the generator to port and the AC system to starboard, all of which are marked. Deck trains are run to overboard sea chests which minimize holes in the hull. The Kohler 15 kilowatt generator is outboard of the port engine. Outboard of the starboard engine are the battery boxes and the reverse cycle AC condenser. The pod dryers themselves are close to the transom but are easily accessible for routine maintenance. Moving out of the engine room and to the guest stateroom, which is just below the helm, we find the well-marked and easy to understand electrical control panel with 12 and 24 volt switches on the top and 240, 120 volt AC switches below. The ship's anchor mounts through the stem, which keeps the deck clean and uncluttered. It and the windlass are in the locker in the bow just next to the foot controls on deck. Included is a raw water washdown as well as a winch handle for manual operations. The 50 Cantius is a boat designed to deliver luxury and to basically perform all the functions of the much larger 60 Cantius, which has 52% more displacement. That's asking a lot, but to see how she fares on that score, be sure to see our features and accommodations video on the 50 Cantius. The twin Volvos can deliver speed and power, or they can deliver range and reliability, all with a simple, intuitive interface on the dashboard made even simpler by the invaluable Volvo IPS joystick. That's our test and operational inspection of the Cruisers Yachts 50 Cantius. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Reed.